Welcome, everyone, to the Props Network podcast. I am your humble host, Steve Clark, and today I am joined by a friend of mine. His name is Joel Walkowski. He is a gambler. I know a few things about Joel. He is a gambler. He produces funny gambling videos during the NFL season. At least the NFL season. Do you do it during other seasons as well?
You know, maybe the Oscars if they pique my interest. Yeah. Maybe the NBA Finals. Okay. So, hi, I am Joel. How are we, listeners? Good to be here hanging out on the Props Network with the sweet shooting Steve Clark.
One of the other few things I know about you is you are a Detroit Lions fan.
Oh, it's Detroit Lions super fan. They are a member of my immediate family, and that I mean like they're a constant burden, and they ruin my mood every Thanksgiving.
And the third thing that I will say I know about you is you are a pretty dominant pickup basketball player.
Oh, thank you. Maybe not anymore, but I had a good run. I appreciate you saying that.
We play together. I mean, we probably see each other once a month, and it's every time to play pickup basketball. And it's a great relationship. I like our relationship.
It's a good relationship, and I can't really guard you. I don't think
that's same. I can't guard you either.
Yeah,
it's a mess.
You take me outside, so I don't get to do any big man stuff. Yeah. So then it's just like, oh, I'm playing perimeter defense, and like I blew out my knee a couple years ago. I recovered nicely, even though if my doctor found out I was playing, he'd be very mad.
Still, if you were playing now, he'd be mad?
Oh yeah, my knee's so done. But the one thing I can't do is I can't guard on the perimeter to save my life.
Yeah, so, and I'm the weird big man that only shoots threes and doesn't go to the post at all.
Yeah, you're the Brooke Lopez of our pickup game. Yeah. I'm sure you have a twin brother who we would way prefer you to.
All right, we're going to call this episode of the Props Network podcast the Way Too Early NFL Futures Show, because you're an NFL fan, I'm an NFL fan. I think it'd be fun to talk about some of these futures like win totals, division winners, even the Super Bowl winner for next year, the season that starts in 7 months from now. We're going to go ahead and go out on a limb and pick some futures here.
And we're going to talk about it because we are thinking about it. I know you're listening and you're going like, hey, we haven't had free agency. We haven't had the draft yet.
None of that.
But there's actually some advantage you can gain on these lines because the major moves haven't happened yet, and they still reflect last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every year a team goes from worst to first.
Yep.
Every year a contender falls off the face of the earth, and we're here today to find out who that might be.
That's right. I mean, just today there was a lot of news about Tom Brady possibly not returning to the Patriots. I'm not sure if I buy that. But the odds did shift today for the Bills to win the division from like plus 450 to plus 400. So even little stuff like that during February can really impact the odds of futures. So if you really like something right now, I would jump on it because it could shift in the next couple months.
Yeah, and if any of our listeners are passing through like New Jersey or Las Vegas, any of these places where you can just throw down $10, get a ticket, now is the time to do it. It's crazy to think Tom Brady might be somewhere else.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, we've watched this guy for 20-some years doing it in New England. I can't envision him going to Vegas and playing for the Raiders.
Yeah, right. And then, like, the rumor is that they'll give him, like, $35 million a year to get him to come out of New England. Why? Like, you are not a winning team. You don't need an aging quarterback that takes up 15 to 20% of your cap room. I guess it's like a business move more than it is like a football move.
And I understand if the Patriots were to move on from Brady, but they haven't groomed a successor.
Not at all.
They did an all right job with Garoppolo. The jury's out on him in my view. We'll get into it later. But they don't really have a successor in place. I know Stidham, the former Auburn quarterback, has been getting good reviews, but it's not the type of plan of succession you'd expect from the best GM, the best front office in football.
Yeah. And, I mean, we'll see what happens in the draft. Speaking of the draft, you're a Lions fan.
I am a Lions fan. I am being held hostage by the NFL draft, Steve.
With the third pick, what do you think happens?
Well, what happens with the other picks? Do we trade Stafford? Do we trade all-pro cornerback Darius Slade?
So I think if the team stays the way it is and we see Burrow go first and we see Chase Young go second, and the Lions right now, the roster remains, what do you think they do?
I think they have to trade down. They have a light quarterback who's never gotten the chance to show what he can do. If you fill in two of those spots on the defense in a pretty good draft class, like the Miami offer is staring us in the face.
Yeah.
Miami has 3 first-round picks. We can get 5 and 26 for 3. That seems fair to me.
Yeah.
We still get the cornerback, Jeffrey Okudah. But, it's kind of embarrassing to admit I love Alabama football.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I do. I got into college football. My buddy, very funny comic, Eli Sayers, he's a diehard Alabama fan, but he has OCD.
Okay.
So I'll watch a game with him. They'll be up like 52-7, and he'll be so nervous.
What a miserable existence to be a fan of the best team in college football history, but still get nervous about stuff.
And he can never enjoy it. But like watching every game with him, like I watched that national championship with him where Tua came in and like,
yeah.
Is there a quarter? I'm 33 years old. I can't remember having a better introduction to a quarterback prospect.
Yeah. Would you be excited if the Lions took Tua? Like, would you like that?
I would lose my mind. I would get the Hawaiian Lua girl up on my dashboard immediately. I think we would have one more year with Stafford if it were to happen. That makes sense,
yeah.
Because there's a lot of injury questions, and then we can't trade Stafford at the moment.
Right.
He has a $24 million trade kicker, which last I checked is kind of a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of money.
That's how much I've lost in the stock market in the past 2 days.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I just started investing with Robin. Like, I just started putting money into Robinhood like 2 weeks ago, and it could have been the worst time that I could have started doing.
Absolutely terrible.
Just the worst timing ever.
While we're here, I love Twitter. I love Amarin, AMRN. That's a heart attack medication that's going to change the world.
That's a good medication to buy into right now. I mean,
absolutely. We're all just stuffing our faces and scrolling on social media. Those are my picks.
Yeah, and everyone's getting sick, and there's a viral outbreak. It's a stressful time to be alive.
It is. There's talk they're even going to cancel the Olympics.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, there's talk if it's not contained in like 3 months that they could absolutely cancel the Olympics.
Holy that's crazy.
It is crazy, but it's kind of good for me personally.
Would you lose a lot of money on the Olympics?
No, you're not going to believe this. It makes no sense, but I'm friends with the U.S. karate team. I have an apartment with a sauna that's near their dojo. So when they need to cut weight, we come over, we take saunas together. And my friend Maya, she was going to qualify for the Olympics. And to be honest, between you and me, she kind of choked.
None of this can be real.
This is 100% true.
The U.S. karate team.
Karate is in the Olympics.
Right.
One time. This is the first 2020 time. In Japan. And I know the best woman in a certain weight class.
That is wild.
And she finished, out of 50 participants, she finished second on a technicality.
Holy crap.
So yeah, if the Olympics get canceled, it saves me so many awkward conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how about that time I canceled my flight to Tokyo?
Okay, let's jump into NFL stuff. If you don't mind, Joel.
Sure, let's do it.
What time is it? 2:20? Keep an eye on the clock.
Beautiful Thursday afternoon. I have to be in a wedding.
Yeah, you're
6 o'clock.
Going to a wedding in a few hours.
Can I give you the groom? I'm not going to say his name. Before we get into it, can I give you another story you're not going to believe?
Yeah, absolutely.
So they got the venue. They're getting married on a Thursday.
Yes.
But they had the venue for the same price on a Saturday. And the mother of the groom would not agree to that date because the bride's sister had an intramural weightlifting competition.
No.
Yes.
Like she's in college and she's in
college. She does intramural weightlifting
and so the wedding got pushed to a Thursday evening?
Yes.
Why didn't the sister speak up? Why didn't she say, "It's okay, Mom, I'm going to skip this one"? It's a college intramural weightlifting competition.
You know what? I get cranky when my workout routine gets messed up too, so I don't blame her.
That's wild. I'm in the midst of planning a wedding right now, and
me too. It's awful.
It's the worst thing in the world, and so I can only understand. Like, I'm not going to say his name or his soon-to-be wife's name, but that must have been just like the most backbreaking news of all time.
Yeah, I'm in a tough situation because I was about to marry someone else.
Oh, really?
It fell through, and I met my current fiance literally the next day.
Holy crap!
So she's planning all this stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I know how to do this.
It's a nightmare. So you've had to go through it twice.
Yeah, back to back. It's unbelievable.
Get married if you're in love. It'll be worth it, but the last 5 months and the next 4 months are going to be miserable.
Absolutely. She's picking a venue these next couple of days.
Oh, nice.
But we have a good relationship, and her uncle owns a very small piece of a professional basketball team, so I get good seats once a year.
What?
Yeah.
Which team? Can you say?
I can't say. They're one of the good ones, though.
Wow.
And it's been a boon to my life.
That's wild.
And they're huge basketball fans, so they like having me around. We just go nerd out on the game.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You married up. What?
Yeah, I just mouthed the word. Oh, dang, we're doing video.
That's an enormous franchise. That's okay. Good for you.
Yeah, it's very sweet. I've had some surreal moments because of it. But yeah, let's talk NFL futures.
Yeah, let's go into the NFL.
We're gonna make so much money. We will own a small share of an basketball franchise.
All right, let's start with the division winners. Let's go at the start at the top of the list here with the AFC East. New England Patriots coming in at minus 335 as the favorites. No clarity really on the Tom Brady situation, but they're still the odds-on favorite by quite a bit. Buffalo Bills at plus 400. And then if you want to take the Jets or the Dolphins, they're plus 1,200 and plus 1,600. For me, I think the value right here with the Bills is pretty great. They were plus 450 yesterday, so smart money seems to be going on them. The line is moving. I would take the Bills at plus 400 here. I think they're a 10-win team, and I think the Patriots have so many questions, especially at quarterback, that this might be the best odds you'll be able to get them before the season starts. You're making a face.
No, I'm listening to the argument. Continue your take.
Okay, that's pretty much it. I think the Bills are a little underrated. Last year they were a really good team. I think Josh Allen only gets better next year moving forward. Devin Singletary looked really good in his first year. I think he gets even better next year. They're a solid team.
And I disagree because when you talk of Josh Allen, like I saw a quarterback with physical gifts kind of overcome his inability to throw the ball and make a playoff run with a good defense.
Yes.
And that happened with Josh Allen. But previously it happened with Mitchell Trubisky, and we saw the Bears return back to earth this season. So there is a template for how the Bills kind of crater.
Okay.
And really, if we're looking at value for these picks, which I think for like kind of long shot division bets, I love the Miami Dolphins here.
Really?
16-1 because what wins in the NFL? Head coaching. Brian Flores was given nothing last year.
True.
And they were hard to beat. They played hard. And given this offseason with their cap room, their multiple first-round picks, they're going to look much different.
Who do you think starts at QB?
Probably Tua.
You think so?
Yeah, I think, gun to my head, I think Tua is starting the season as Miami Dolphins quarterback. They've been linked together for
that makes sense.
3 seasons.
Right. I just can't see. I mean, every year they're super fun to watch because they will always beat the Patriots at least one time. And it's such a joy to watch. I just can't imagine them winning, 10 or 11 games next year. They seem like a 6-win team to me.
Yeah, but the second half of the season, they were probably around an 8-9 win in terms of performance.
They did look way better. You're right.
Yeah, and like Buffalo, I think they have a lot of talent on defense, specifically like Tremaine Williams, the young linebacker, is like one of the few individual defensive players who's a joy to watch.
Yeah.
But I think Buffalo will have some growing pains. I don't think there's enough talent in the skill positions like John Brown. It's like, oh, this guy runs fast.
He's their number one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of groceries in the cabinets there.
Sure, that's true. And disclaimer, I do think, as does Vegas, that the Patriots will win the division, especially when Tom Brady comes back. But that value is just not worth it to me to put any money on at this point.
Yeah, like I would throw $10 at the Dolphins, and like I think that would be good value. It'd
be like a fun pick. You can like cheer for the Dolphins to usurp the long-standing winners of the East.
Yeah, and there's a lot of worse teams that finished last in their division last year where I think there's tremendous value, where there's at least like a lot of positive assets to get behind. I don't think that's the case in the AFC North, rather.
Right, exactly. So let's go there.
Our next division.
Yeah, so who are you thinking AFC North?
Okay, so the odds here are Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh minus 177, Pittsburgh Steelers plus 275, Cleveland Browns plus 550, and Cincinnati Bengals 20-1.
Yeah, which I think is fair.
Yeah, and in this regard, I think the smart money's got to be the Ravens. Not to spoil what we're going to talk about, but they are my Super Bowl pick.
Me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I have another one that I could play with too, but what happened to them this year in the playoffs, I think, was a fluke. I think it was Lamar's first time in the playoffs. I think next year when he sees him, they're going to win 13 or 14 games again next year, I think. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. The Browns are terrible. We'll see how they do with a new coach, but the Bengals are terrible. The Steelers don't impress me. Their defense is good, but I don't know who's going to be their quarterback. If it's Big Ben, he looks like he weighs 330 pounds.
Yeah, there's this talk around the Steelers like, oh, Big Ben's coming back. It's like
great.
He's 100 years old.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in an actor playing Paul Bunyan in a movie.
Yeah. So I think this is a no-brainer, and I'm shocked that the Ravens are only minus 177. It seems like it's not high enough.
And it happens a lot in football where you don't win the Super Bowl when you're the best team. You win it the next season, like we saw just this year with Kansas City.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's kind of happened with Roethlisberger, with Russell Wilson, where they won the title in their second season as starters.
That's right. And, I mean, as fun as it was to watch the Titans this year, how often is there a team that gets that red hot at the end of a year and goes through the playoffs and plays spoiler like they did? It doesn't happen very. Last time was probably the Giants or maybe the Eagles a few years ago.
And it's also they are so similar to Baltimore in terms of what they want to do.
Right.
It's just like, oh, we're the one team that runs the ball, and there's like, actually, we're also going to run the ball. So
yeah. It was. I thought it was a little fluky. I agree with you. I think they're going to take the division. And this is something that I would put money on, even though it's minus 177. That's not terrible odds for something I consider to be as close to a sure thing as there is betting futures.
Yeah, and, you see the Pittsburgh Steelers are being treated very much like a public team here.
Yeah.
I can be talked into the value regarding the Browns at plus 550.
Right.
I like the work Kevin Stefanski did in Minnesota. And if they decide to go all in around Nick Chubb and their formidable pass rush, I could see it working out for them.
Okay, let's go to the AFC South. This one I think will have differing opinions. The AFC South, the Tennessee Titans are the favorites right now at plus 180. The Texans plus 225, Colts also plus 225, and Jaguars plus 700. If I had to put money on it right now, I would take the Texans at plus 225.
I'm with you there.
Okay.
There is a lot of talent in Jacksonville. However, I don't think that there's a lot of schematic fit between what they're doing with Foles and Fournette.
Right.
The Texans are the only team in this, for me, that has a franchise quarterback.
That's exactly what it came down to for me as well. I know they might have the worst coach in the division, but they have Deshaun Watson. And he's done it. He's done it his whole career. He's won games. They've won the division, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row now. They can do it. I know the Titans might be like the sexy pick here after what they did in the playoffs, but I think it's the Texans again, as boring as that is. But they have really good odds, plus 225. That's pretty good return on investment.
Yeah, and they've won the division, I think, 4 years out of 5.
Yeah.
Plus, if we're going to talk about like long shot Super Bowl bets, the Texans at 30-1 has good value to me. Like, I wouldn't be shocked to see Deshaun Watson win the Super Bowl any given season. Yeah. So, I see the narrative. I don't see any major contenders coming here, barring like maybe Indianapolis does something bold at the quarterback position.
Right. Which at this point it looks like they might end up with Phillip Rivers, which I don't know how much that would actually help.
Yeah, God bless Phillip Rivers. He really influences my bedside manner in the pickup basketball game. I look to him as an influence and a hero.
Oh man, it'll be fun to see him go to another team and have one last try. At this point he's just like a shot put quarterback. He just pushes the ball and sees where he doesn't look good. He's old. The Colts would be a great fit for him, I think, because of the fact that their offensive line is really solid and he's not a mobile guy. But I don't know how much big of an upgrade it is from Jacoby Brissett to Phillip Rivers.
I think a good futures bet would be the average hang time of Phillip Rivers throws versus teams punters.
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah.
And the Colts, they have my least favorite athlete in professional sports, Eric Ebron.
Interesting. There are so many terrible people in professional sports, and your least favorite one is Eric Ebron?
Eric Ebron, he makes a lot of plays. He gets great stats, but no one will hurt you more in a tight game than Eric Ebron.
Yeah.
I've watched him for years. I warned all the Colts fans, he's going to get you. And then in the playoffs against Kansas City, he dropped 2 big passes.
He's all about drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fun to watch on the Lions, but as a Lions fan, it was probably miserable, wondering if he was going to catch the ball or drop it 50% of the time.
Yeah, and he's very chatty on Twitter. He's always talking trash, so it's been a real delight to watch him fail.
The next division, the AFC West, I can't see myself going anywhere but the Chiefs are minus 500. And I know that's not great value, but I still think I would take them here. The next Chargers are plus 800, Raiders are plus 900, and Broncos are plus 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs, it looks like they're building a dynasty there. They still have Pat Mahomes under a fairly good contract, I believe.
Yeah.
So
a couple more years.
You got to go Chiefs. I don't hate any of the other teams in this division. Like Drew Lock, the way he started his career, he was really fun to watch. He had that blowout win versus Houston that I took a bath on, honestly.
I think I'm the most excited about the Broncos of these 3 other teams. Yeah. I don't see a ton of excitement with the Chargers. It depends who they get at quarterback, I guess, but
yeah, the Chargers, the skill positions are there. If they get any kind of quarterback,
their offense could be great.
And they've got 2 great pass rushers, and they didn't get any Derwin James last year.
Right.
So they're very talented, and
right.
I could see any of these teams going to the postseason, winning a game if they get the breaks. Also, the Raiders, they're going to get a new quarterback who's behind a good offensive line. They've invested a ton of money there. And Shady, the things kind of break the way the NFL wants sometimes. And I think the NFL is going to want
their new city team to do well.
Yeah, their new flagship store to do all right.
Okay, that's the AFC. Nothing too controversial from us there. How about the NFC? Let's move to the NFC East.
Oh, you got to stay away. Don't touch it. Do not bet.
I feel the exact same way. The Eagles are plus 120, the Cowboys are plus 130, and then it takes a significant jump to the Giants plus 800, Redskins plus 900. I agree. There's not good enough value here. Why are you betting on something that's plus 120? That's not a sure thing.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are actually one of the most talented teams in football.
Agreed.
But they replaced Jason Garrett with another Jason Garrett. He was the ultimate milquetoast vanilla game manager, and Mike McCarthy is the exact same thing.
Yeah. His game plan in Green Bay was Aaron, go out there. If someone gets open, find them. But that's his whole entire offensive game. I think the Cowboys will win the division. I just don't think plus 130 is worth the risk because if any injury happens, obviously that's the risk with futures. Not worth that investment. The Eagles have done it a couple years in a row now, so they're obviously the favorite at plus 120, but that's also not a great return on investment on such a toss-up of a division.
Yeah, and the Eagles, they have serious injury questions at quarterback. Even if they address the receiver position, it might not be enough to address their needs at the receiver position, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
They need 4 receivers there.
Yeah.
And just back to the AFC West for a minute,
sure.
A little closer to the season, I could see Chargers to make the playoffs. That'll probably be around a 3-1 payoff, being a good bet.
Right. It's like a wild card.
Yeah, I think so.
Because, who are the other wild card options? Maybe the Titans, maybe the Steelers, maybe the Bills. So, I could see the Chargers in the mix there.
Yeah, it breaks to me I'm relatively confident that a wild card team will come out of the AFC West.
Yeah. It's a solid. It should be a solid division. For some reason, every year they always underperform, other than the Chiefs. But okay, NFC North now. This one, I'm kind of leaning towards staying away as well. The Packers are plus 135. The Vikings are plus 140, and then it falls to the Bears at plus 500. Oh, and then your Lions at plus 900.
Yeah, and you have to go Lions. It's a no-brainer.
Would you really? I think I looked up some power rankings before we did this podcast, and pretty unanimously, the Lions are either 32nd or 31st in almost everything I saw, which I was surprised by. I think that they're a team that can win 6 or 7 games.
Well, they're a team that also lost 7 one-possession games here. And,
exactly.
And really, I'll pick the Lions here because I like the odds, and I don't believe in the Packers or Vikings as front runners.
Yeah.
The Packers, they had a nice 13-3 season, but Having watched a lot of those games,
Absolutely.
I saw the Lions outplay them twice.
Yeah.
There was the Monday Night Football game where the refereeing absolutely did alter the ending of that game.
Every year the Lions lose a couple games simply because of the referees. It is the Lions' curse.
Yeah, and I think the Packers did kind of get exposed on the coaching staff side in that NFC Championship game.
Oh, absolutely. They're one of the most overrated teams in the NFL last year, I thought.
Yeah, teams moved the ball on them at will. I know Zadarius Smith had an awesome season as a pass rusher. I know they've got a great corner and one good one, but I just don't think they're as talented as their record showed. Meanwhile, the Vikings, while they are very competent, I love Zimmer as a coach. I think they're kind of entering a bad era in terms of cap space and age on defense.
Yeah.
So we will see. So I would take a flyer on. I know I'm a Lions homer, but I would go whoever the long shot bet is here.
Okay. Are you going to place a bet on the Lions?
Oh, I bet on the Lions every year. I bet division, make the playoffs, conference, Super Bowl, and Stafford MVP. I do like $10 on each, but like
you get good odds on those though.
Oh, absolutely. And like 1 year, like it's gonna happen for me, and then
it'll pay all of it off.
Yeah, dead over time, but it's like $40 here and there.
Yeah. Okay. NFC South. This one seems like another simple one to me. The Saints are minus 155. The Falcons are plus 300. Bucks come in at plus 500, and Panthers are plus 1,100. This is another situation where I don't really understand why the Saints are only minus 155. I think they're pretty much a shoo-in for this division win.
And whereas me, I think you could bet on anyone but the Saints, and you'll be fine.
Whoa, wait. So who do you think will actually win the division?
I think the Saints have just got so much baggage to deal with at this point in time.
Okay.
They have playoff disappointment after playoff disappointment.
Right.
They have two quarterbacks on their roster who are better than their starter at this point in time.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I kind of liked how the Falcons and Buccaneers looked at the end of the last year. And the Panthers, like, their new owner is, like, supposedly a game changer for them, and like I believe in the quality of ownership affecting the game on the field, and I believe it's David Teffin. He's like a big hedge fund manager. He's bringing Matt Rule to establish a new culture.
Okay,
and this is a team that's 11-1 to win their division, and they've got the best offensive weapon in football. They've got Cam Newton coming back with everything to prove.
Right.
Not a bad situation to take a flyer.
I could see that. I think I know that the value is not great at minus 155, but this I consider as close to a lock as the Ravens. But that's just because I grew up in Tampa, so I know the Bucs will choke.
The Bucs will choke. They're going to pay Jameis $120 for 4 years, and he'll throw 120 interceptions over that span.
He got LASIK this offseason, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he got LASIK eye surgery like a month ago. So we'll see if that impacts the way he throws the ball.
That's great. Congrats, Jameis.
Congrats, Jameis. It only took you 5 years of NFL play to get your eyes fixed. The Falcons, to me, are always a team that I feel like could be a threat, but never quite do it.
And really, if you're gambling, is Matt Ryan the person you want to have money on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's nothing to him. He looks like he likes computers, so just put the money elsewhere.
This is a nerd-free podcast.
I've been saying it for years. It's not fun to bet on Matt Ryan. There's certain players who it is fun, who are always rewarding to bet on, like the NFC West. Just put your money on Russell Wilson. It's always a good time.
Yeah, I mean,
plus 235, easy.
Yeah, so the 49ers are the favorite at plus 105 in the West. Seahawks plus 235. I think the Seahawks are the move here as well, although I think the 49ers are the most complete team in the NFL. Do you agree or do you disagree?
Their pass rush is incredible. I don't think their secondary is all that wonderful. Richard Sherman is overrated. On the wrong side of 30 by a couple years, and the Super Bowl losing team always falls off the next year.
Interesting.
We're talking about next season's bets, like Niners under 11 wins is my lock of the year.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Do you have any interest in the Rams here at plus 270?
No, their cap situation is
a nightmare.
Is pretty nightmarish for me. I think the receivers are kind of in a weird situation.
Yeah.
What's Brandon Cooks? Isn't he like possibly retiring due to health concerns?
Is that true?
Well, I mean, it was talked about a little bit in the second half of last season, and he came back and played, but I think that he's pretty banged up.
Yeah. Oh, he's always banged up. Yeah. And then Cooper Kupp's coming off the injury, but I think the receiving core is solid. I think that's one of the highlights of the team. I just think that, like you said, there's not a ton of depth because of the cap situation. So if there's any injuries on the offensive line, it's a game over. Defense, if we lose any linebackers, I'm a Rams fan, sorry. If the Rams lose any linebackers, season's over. It's not a pretty situation. I can see them winning 9 games again this year. But yeah, I would take the Seahawks to win this division at plus 235 because that's pretty good odds for an MVP caliber quarterback to lead his team to win a division that he could only need to win 11 games.
Yeah, and those odds, like, it is generally like gambling is different than normal sports. Just over the years I've been doing this, there's certain players who you want to have your money on.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And, just back Russell. You see that DK Metcalf connection is going to be something special.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got 2 good running backs, an amazing home field advantage, and he's entering his absolute prime.
Yeah. Okay, you want to talk about win totals here? We already talked about division winners, but I have a few win totals how about you start? Who's one of your teams you're going to bet win totals?
Well, how is this affected by, I know there's a new collective bargaining agreement out there. What if the season goes to 17 games? Just hammer every over right
stuff
now.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to pass, but that's not a terrible speculative idea that it's an extra game, so take all the overs.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of these conversations as we went through the divisions.
Yeah,
but definitely Niners under 11, Broncos over 7. I think Drew Lock showed me enough last year that they'll probably go 8-8.
Okay.
Panthers over 5.5 is like huge lock for me. Like, bet that as soon as you can.
Okay.
And then I like the Bills under 8.5.
Yikes, that's the one we have different then.
And then you could talk me into either of the New York teams over 6 wins.
Okay. Yeah, I could see the Jets going over 6. I have the Bills over 8.5. I think they're a 10-win team. They won 10 wins. They won 10 games last year. I think, like I mentioned before, Josh Allen will improve this year throwing the ball because the teams are going to be defending against his running now. Like, they know he's an athlete. They know he can run the ball. I think.
But who can you point to for me as a model of a quarterback who got more accurate over time?
Yeah, you're right.
Cam Newton didn't happen. Mitchell Trubisky didn't happen.
The Mitch Trubisky comparison is interesting to me because you are right. They both used their athleticism to kind of cover some gaps in their play their first year.
And when they miss guys, they'll miss guys by like 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah. I like the Titans over 8.5.
Sure. I can get behind that.
Just because of the way they played last year. And I think if they follow that model they followed the last 4 weeks of the season in the playoffs, they could easily win 10 games. I like the Vikings over 9.5. I thought they had a weird year last year and they still managed to win 10 games, so I could see them winning 10 again this year.
I can get behind that. I think Mike Zimmer is one of probably the most underrated coach.
He's just consistent.
Yeah, and that defense, like, I am a little worried about the age and the contract situation, but they should be. There might be a 1-year window where they're fine.
Yeah. My biggest lock for this is Ravens over 11. I think they get to 13 wins next year.
Yeah, there could be a real angry season.
Yeah. It's a revenge tour. They want to win the Super Bowl, and I think they have a really good shot at it. And then Falcons under 8. I don't feel strongly about that one, but just based off the way they played last year, like you said, Matt Ryan looks like a complete dweeb. But my lock is Ravens over 11 wins, and I would take that right now because I think that'll only go up.
Yeah, let's drive to Atlantic City. Let's place these, baby.
Yeah, right.
I have 3 hours and 15 minutes to work with. Can we make that round trip? No, there's a comedy club and a casino attached to like the Wild West Sportsbook. So I've just been going down there doing these horrible shows and losing the spot pay immediately.
Is this true?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Atlantic City Comedy Club. They've been giving me a lot of work and just not been making any money.
Oh, when's your estimate for when New York City will be able to just gamble legally, on our phones.
I mean, we can now if I hook you up with my buddy Doug.
Is it legal?
No, absolutely not. I believe in the bookie because it's the one way. I mean, there's some great interfaces like DraftKings, but for my money, I like to support small business and my guy Doug.
All right. How about this? Who do you have winning each conference?
Each conference, Ravens 4-1.
Yep.
Book it, and then the NFC, I kind of like a lot of the bottom of the barrel teams, like the Panthers at 30-1.
Yeah.
I'll take a flyer on that. And then the Lions 30-1. Like if I'm gonna be placing the bet anyway, so I might as well pick it as one of my bets.
I like both of those. I think the Panthers will be an interesting team to watch. I really do not know what to expect at all, other than that McCaffrey's going to get 2,000 yards. That's the only thing I know for certain that will happen.
Yeah, and Matt Rule at Baylor, he's regarded as a culture builder. So I imagine we'll see a team led by Cam Newton that's just buying in completely.
Yeah.
They're playing in third and short because they've got Christian McCaffrey, and they should be able to ride that to an 11-win season.
Wow.
Get lucky once at home. I'm just making the case for it. You can envision it.
Why not?
Is Cam Newton going to have one significant season then be out of our lives forever?
No.
I'm rooting for that comeback, so why not put my money on it?
Absolutely. Yeah. 30-1 odds on that's fun. That's a fun bet.
And the NFL is better when Cam Newton's relevant. He wears his funny Sunday outfits he's coming from church. And
he does. He goes straight from church to football games. I'm taking the Ravens plus 400 to win the AFC, like we mentioned before.
And we're the same, because the AFC, there's two bets you can make. You can go Ravens or you can go Chiefs. They're going to be winning that conference for the next 5 years.
Yeah, and the Ravens have better value right now, so I'm going to take the team with better value. And then for the NFC, I like the Seahawks at plus 950.
Yeah, I thought about picking them as well.
Almost 10-1 odds to pick a team that I think will almost certainly be in the playoffs to start, and then they just have to win a couple games.
Yeah, and then they've got that home field, and now they won the Super Bowl early in Russell Wilson's career, so I could see him getting another as the absolute centerpiece of operations there.
Yeah, make the Super Bowl a bird bowl. Seahawks Ravens.
Let's go. Build that nest.
Caca. Just like you don't watch the XFL, but the Battlehawks of St. Louis are an exciting team to watch.
I saw a little bit of the footage on Twitter. It seemed kind of lit up in the Edward
Jones.
Dude,
it went wild in the dome. People are so happy football's back.
And they hate Stan Kroenke so much.
Everyone hates Stan Kroenke. That guy he's one of the few people who I've never met I can confidently say if I met him in person, I'm a pretty nice guy. I would be rude to him.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way about Roger Goodell.
Yeah. I think I would fake nicest with Roger Goodell, but with Stan, I couldn't fake it.
Yeah, I get that. He screwed over an entire
city.
Hardworking Midwestern city.
Yeah.
You hate to see it, and it's nice that the XFL came there. I am interested in the game day XFL experience. I will be in the house this Saturday.
That's right.
Will you tell me who I should bet on in that game?
Who are they playing? New York Guardians versus
Can I pull it up?
Pull it up.
Because I am down $33 last night. I took the Jazz over the Celtics.
Ooh, over the Celtics.
Well, it's the second game of a back-to-back for Boston. It's just the Jason Tatum revolution is happening before our eyes.
Right.
He's incredible.
So let me tell you something about the New York Guardians. They are arguably the worst team in the XFL.
Uh-oh.
Matt McGloin is their starting quarterback.
Ooh, former Raider.
He got benched a couple weeks ago. This last week, I think they scored 9 points. They got shut out in week 2. Who are they playing?
They're playing the Los Angeles Wildcats.
Wildcats came off a big win this last week. What's the spread?
The Guardians are +7 at home.
+7 at home. Well, do you want to be cheering for the home team?
Yeah, I guess. And the over-under is 40.
I would maybe pound that over.
If I go...
Except the Guardians score maybe 6 points a game.
You think so?
They're very bad.
So I should go Wildcats and the under parlay?
Can you parlay on your book?
Oh, yeah. Doug can do anything. I got it sucks. I have big money on Bernie Sanders right now.
which is super fun, but it's really stressful.
Yeah, if I win, he's just going to take it all away in taxes.
Oh, man. Catch 22. So XFL's crazy. I would say bet the Wildcat. Well, maybe you can tease it.
Oh, yeah, we could tease.
You can tease with your book?
Definitely.
Maybe tease an under 46 with a Wildcats -1.
Okay, let's go. So I'm going to do that to get out. Man, maybe every time I come on with you, I'll place a bet.
Oh, you're going to do it right now?
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now.
Is that incriminating for the podcast studio we're in? Like, could they get in trouble?
Nah, I don't think so. I think it's fine. Wait, what small business doesn't want to be a haven for illegal gambling?
I hope that cashes for you.
I think it will.
I went 3-2 on XFL bets last week, so I'm feeling pretty good.
See, I was just so excited to get my weekends back when the XFL started. It's like, oh, I have like a little bit of time before basketball really kicks off.
Right.
Nah, not the case. I can't place it now, but I will.
That sounds right. That sounds accurate for what that is. Okay, you want to talk about Super Bowl winners?
Yeah, Super Bowl winners. I mean, I'll do Ravens 8-1.
Yeah.
I will do Texans 33-1, and I will inevitably have money on the Lions, but it's 66-1. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. You can usually get them at better odds. Like you could find 100-1 most years.
That's fun. How much do you typically play? You said like $10 you'll put on like a Lions Super Bowl bet.
Well, I'll put on like 100 on to make the playoffs,
Jesus
50
Christ.
on the division, 25 on the conference, and 25 on Super Bowl.
Wow. Okay.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
1 year, it'll all be worth it. Like,
Yeah. No, I hope so for you that it will be worth it one.
yeah, if not, I've wasted my whole dang life. And like a lot, like we talk about the Panthers, like their owner is, I said his name wrong. David Tepper is his name. So he's this hedge fund guy who found a way to get an edge, and now he's throwing every asset between like making the most efficiently run NFL franchise, whereas the Lions, it's just whoever the mess up child in the Ford family is gets the team. Like a few years ago, there was like a legit argument amongst Lions fans. They're like, yeah, we finally got like a new owner. We got fresh blood. And it was a 94-year-old woman inheriting the team.
For my Super Bowl bet, I said Ravens earlier plus 800. Seahawks are plus 2,000.
20-1?
20-1 odds on the Seahawks.
And where is the Super Bowl next year? It's not Vegas, is it?
Great question. Is it LA already?
They're not open yet, are they?
2021 Super Bowl will be in Tampa, Florida.
Oh,
Maybe I'll
Steve's
go.
homecoming.
Yeah, maybe I'll pay $4,000 and go.
Wait, Tampa has WrestleMania and
Tampa has
the Super Bowl in a 1 year span?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Huge year for Tampa. It's a great place to visit. Have you ever been?
No, my cousin just moved down there, so I should drop in. I've been all over Florida. I really bombed there a lot, but I wouldn't mind going back.
Tampa's great. I think there's really good food. It's definitely on the up and up from when I was there. It's a fun place to be.
And I like performing in Florida so I can bomb after people doing street jokes.
Yeah. Oh, let me get a quick ad read in here. This podcast is brought to you by thepropsnetwork.com. Visit thepropsnetwork.com for all the latest betting news and the best bonuses from the top legal betting sites, like a sign-up bonus of up to $1,000 at DraftKings Sportsbook, or $20 free at Unibet just to try it out. No deposit required. You can just sign up at Unibet and get free $20 to throw on whatever you want. You must be 21 years or older to bet. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER now. Okay. Any other futures you want to talk about before we get into this bracket that I created specifically for you?
Yeah, I do think I am going to take the Clippers to win the NBA title.
Oh, what's that at right now?
I think it's at 4-1. It's kind of a down moment in the Clippers cycle.
Okay.
And I do feel like I will pull it up on the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, plus 330 right now.
Plus 330. That's the highest it's been all season. And I think in NBA playoffs, it's kind of determined by scoring in isolation and man-to-man defense. And I think the Clippers are just built for that.
All right.
And the Lakers, this is kind of a bit here, but people might get mad. Everyone's talking about the Lakers winning this title for Kobe.
Sure.
But the ultimate move would be like Kobe and Kawhi had the same helicopter pilot.
Is
this
true?
100% true? So I could see Kawhi as like winning winning for his pilot.
Absolutely. That's a real thing.
Yeah, and like the whole state will be furious at him, and he'll just want to mourn this one guy and honor him. It's very Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So there's 3 big favorites in the NBA right now.
Yeah, the Bucks are incredible. I don't know if you watched that Bucks-Raptors game on Tuesday night.
No.
Regular season game of the year, just wonderful contest between those two. The Bucks are so good.
They're fun.
Chris Middleton, if he wasn't so ugly, he would really be valued so much higher.
All right. Speaking of basketball, as I mentioned before,
sorry,
Joel,
I shouldn't call Chris Middleton ugly.
He's not listening. Oh, maybe he is. If you are, Chris, come on the show. We'd love to have you.
I'm just sad you left the Pistons without achieving anything. We just, we could have a backcourt of you and Spencer Dinwiddie right now. That haunts me.
That could be fun.
We picked them both in the second round.
What happened? Why'd they get rid of both of them?
We're a poorly run franchise.
Did Dinwiddie not do anything until he got to Brooklyn?
No, he'd spent Kenny Atkinson was all over him and developed him very well.
Yeah.
He was a great college player though, so maybe it was us.
Okay. Me and Joel play pickup basketball together. And Joel, are you from Detroit?
I am. I'm from Dearborn, Michigan, actually, most Muslim city in America. So
that fits you. And so with these things in mind, I created a bracket here. We're going to figure out which of these Detroit metro area natives would win a one-on-one basketball tournament.
Wow.
Okay. And I seeded them, but I'm not going to tell you how I seeded them. I have a couple of fun facts. This probably won't show up on camera. Maybe I'll make a graphic for the video later. Here you go.
And this is nice because it's actually pretty sad right now. There's no Detroit residents currently in the NBA.
What?
Yeah, none. First, The Athletic,
How is that possible?
Yeah, they did this great article about the history of Chicago hoops and the pipeline to the NBA. And I was like, oh, I wonder what it's like for Detroit. And I was like, it's really fallen off.
Holy crap.
Well, there's a lot of people from Michigan, but Detroit itself, no way.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is a good.
Yeah, so you want to start with the top left here?
Oh, the top left. Okay, we have a matchup, Tom Selleck versus Lily Tomlin.
If you need stats, I have stats on each of them.
Well, Tom Selleck, what is he, 6'3"?
Tom Selleck is 6'4", 75 years old.
75 years old, and you might remember him from Friends, Magnum P.I., we share a hat. I almost wore a Hawaiian shirt here. That would be so embarrassing.
And then on the other end, we got Lily Tomlin, who's 5'8", which is taller than I thought, and 80 years old.
Yeah, Wayne State University's own.
Oh, wow. You know a lot about Lily Tomlin.
Yeah, I mean, she's went to Wayne State. Both my parents went to Wayne State, so...
It's hard to root against her in this case, then. I can imagine.
Games to 11, one-on-one.
Yeah, we'll say game 11, indoor court.
Indoor court.
Ones and twos?
Yeah, so we're going to go Selleck by a score of 11-4.
Okay.
And then, God bless you, Lily. Thank you for I Heart Huckabees. Great film.
Yeah, let me fill this in as we go. So we got Selleck winning the first game.
Yeah, Tom Selleck.
Moving on.
But he does get a technical foul. He's not allowed to play in a baseball cap.
So that's how Tomlin got one of her points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good free throw shooter.
Yeah, incredible free throw shooter. Okay, moving on to the next round here. We have David Spade against Mitt Romney.
And David Spade, he's an asterisk Michigander. He was born in Michigan, but he grew up in Arizona.
Oh, okay, great. Good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so maybe
for next year's version, we could just trade him in for one of the ICP clowns.
I saw that the Insane Clown Posse was Detroit. So David Spade doesn't really deserve to be in this tournament. Does that make Mitt Romney go a little harder against him?
Yeah.
Mitt Romney is also 6'2". David Spade's 5'7".
Yeah, I could see David Spade's probably, and I want to see the Romney-Selleck matchup. So yeah. I think we're looking at 11-3 here. It's a Romney romp.
Blowout.
We just got this Oh, man. Our boy Jake just sent out the indoor basketball email right now.
Oh, did he?
On his wedding day.
Wedding day.
Hold on. Let me just reply.
Yeah, I want to get in on this as well. Sorry, everyone. We play a Sunday game every week, and if you don't respond to the email in the first 3 minutes, you don't get in.
And I can break the news that I am grandfathered in. I always get in.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Well, I helped take over the game and hand it to Jake.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't originally Jake's.
No, it belonged to CJ Toledano from House of Highlights.
Yeah.
And Devin Conroy, who writes for Suits.
Cool. He writes for Suits?
Yeah.
Interesting.
He plays like he writes for Suits. Guy shoots a lot.
Okay, so hopefully we both get to play on Sunday. I'm surprised Jake just sent that email. I was expecting there not to be a game.
3 hours from the wedding. That's crazy.
He's chill as a cucumber, man. Maybe it's a good distraction for him.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, next round of the bracket.
Ooh, this is a good matchup.
J.K. Simmons versus Tim Allen.
I mean, you're really going to want to hear him mic'd up. And I like this matchup because J.K. Simmons' speaking voice sounds like one of Tim Allen's grunts. Like, that's just how J.K. Simmons... I think J.K. Simmons is actually in amazing shape. And judging by Tim Allen's politics, I don't think basketball is his game.
No, I don't think he watches any basketball.
Yeah, he might watch some college.
Yeah, like some Duke basketball.
Yeah, he cheers for whatever team has Steve Blake.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go J.K. here.
Okay, great. Also, for the record, J.K. Simmons is 5'10".
Ooh, I thought he'd be taller.
Me too. He's jacked though.
Yeah, he's good shape. If this diet pans out, I want to have J.K. Simmons' body.
Yeah. All right, next matchup: Kid Rock versus Ken Jeong.
I'd like to say something besmirching Kid Rock, but I know he was in the house for a lot of great Pistons moments over the years when they played in the Palace Auburn Hills, which is near where Kid Rock grew up.
Wow, you know a lot about Kid Rock.
I like Kid Rock.
Yes.
I actively listen to his music.
No, you don't. There's no way that you do.
Oh, yes.
When's the last time he released new music?
I have one song that I've bought off iTunes, and it's Ball with the Ball.
Of course.
So I can always have it.
That is Kid Rock's only song.
Yeah, and
as far as I know.
You know what? I know Ken Jeong. Isn't he like a dentist?
He's a doctor. Here's a fun fact about Ken Jeong as well. 5'5", 50 years old. He was in an Adidas commercial in 2010 with Dwight Howard and Derrick Rose. Could have gotten some pointers.
Yeah. What did he learn? How to disgrace himself and he wouldn't get injured? He's hanging out with Dwight Howard and Derrick Rose. They taught him all about sexual misconduct.
And then Kid Rock is 6 foot.
Oh man, 6 foot. Yeah, you got to go with the kid here.
Got to go with the kid. I agree.
Ooh, and the kid J.K. Simmons. That's a good matchup.
Let's move over to the West now.
Let's go.
We got Keegan Michael Key versus Diana Ross.
My mom always hated Diana Ross. My sister went on one date with Keegan Michael Key, and he's the world's best Detroit Lions fan, so we got to go Keegan.
Wow.
Easy.
Incredible. Wait, why did your mom hate Diana Ross?
She's old school Motown, and she just didn't like the way she kind of cast out one of her bandmates.
Interesting. Very interesting. I didn't realize you'd have such a personal connection to both of those players in that match.
I know, and like Keegan, I've recognized him on the street before because he had a Detroit Lions hat on.
Okay.
I was like, oh, that's my guy. He goes so hard for this team. God bless him. He's
great.
winning this tournament.
Oh no. I don't know. Tom Selleck and Keegan is a good final matchup.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens, though. There could be some matchup issues on the way. Next matchup is Hooper, the Pistons mascot, and Tim Meadows.
I learned this week. Hooper is actually the son of Rocky, the Denver Nuggets mascot.
Is this like canon?
No,
for the NBA?
Well, they keep it under wraps because you're not supposed to know a mascot's identity.
Oh. Okay. So the person inside the costume is the son of the Nuggets guy.
Yeah, okay. Their father and son.
Gotcha. Interesting.
In canon,
I thought you meant that Hooper is the son of Rocky.
No, he's just learned all the
person in the
life.
suit learned all. What a family.
Yeah, and they finally performed together for the first time at the NBA All-Star Game. They'd never performed at an NBA event together.
That's great. What a great moment.
Yeah, so
that'll be like when Bronny plays with LeBron in 5 years.
Yeah, I imagine Hooper's going to ride that high and take home an easy win.
Yeah, Tim Meadows is pretty short. He's 5'8", which I was not expecting.
Even with the ladies' man afro?
Yeah. Hooper comes away with the win. All right. The next matchup is Eminem versus Francis Ford Coppola.
Well, Eminem, both Francis Ford Coppola, I'm not going to bet on the guy who owns a winery. So if you're like own a vineyard, like I'm probably not going to bet on you in a game of basketball.
Amari Stoudemire owns a winery, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but present day Amari, like how's that working out?
Is he still playing in Israel?
Yes, he is. Okay. He went viral. He found out about the Kobe stuff during a game. So
oh, really?
Yeah, there was a clip of that.
Holy shit. Here's some facts for you about this matchup. Francis Ford Coppola is 6 foot and 80 years old. Eminem is 5'8" and 47 years old.
Yeah, I would love to give it to Francis. I mean, you gotta love the conversation here. So like he's gonna use those methods to really scout Eminem quite adeptly.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that he's a 80-year-old wino really is bad for him.
Could be. What do you think? Game to 11.
Eminem.
Okay.
11-8.
Wow, that's the closest one yet.
Well, he could probably post up M.
Yeah, he's got 4 inches on him. Okay, last matchup of the preliminary Sweet 16 here. Dave Coulier versus Kristen Bell.
And Kristen Bell, she's definitely more of a lead horse. She's definitely the James Harden of The Good Place. And if you've seen Full House, Dave Coulier is very versatile.
Yeah.
I keep talking about my personal connections. When I used to like to sneak into stuff.
Okay.
So when I was like 18, I snuck in to see Dave Coulier doing stand-up. I just carried in some extension cords.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah, and I they're like, yeah. And then I had to work during the show.
And didn't get paid for it?
No. It was like him and Bob Saget. I gave him some like photoshopped picture I made later, and they like got a laugh out of it. So, if I did lose that photo I gave Dave, so he's going to advance here to make up for not cherishing that memento.
Okay, so Dave is the winner.
Yeah. Those are actually 2 great Michiganders. I do take issue that Jeff Daniels isn't on this bracket anywhere. I
thought about it, yeah.
Well, he's actually our favorite.
Really? Like Detroit has agreed that Jeff Daniels is the
Well, he never left the state, and he records like a song for the Tigers when they're good.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
He's very active in local Michigan sports. So
So he still lives in Detroit.
Yeah. Well, he's got a house like an hour outside the city. That's like really. He runs like a theater company there. Wow. He's very involved.
Good for him. I love that. I'm sorry I didn't put him in the bracket. I thought about it and I thought he's too similar to Dave Coulier. So
they do look alike. If they could just combine to like be one, they would have a Tom Hanks-esque career.
Totally, absolutely. All right, now we're in the Elite 8 here. Let's go back up to this Tom Selleck, Mitt Romney matchup. Selleck 6'4", Romney 6'2".
And this is probably our best matchup in the second round here. You're going to see a lot of post play. It's going to be a 2-point game either way. I think they're both wearing collared shirts, but I think Selleck's Hawaiian gives them a little bit more freedom. And, the photo ops of him winning as a Hawaiian could be good for our Tua hopes. So we got to go Tom here.
Okay. Selleck moves on to the final 4. Let's move down. We got J.K. Simmons versus Kid Rock.
Wow, tough matchup. And I know, just given how, there is kind of a relationship between whiplash and the way NBA players prepare for games.
Is there?
You don't think that movie's about the Mamba mentality?
I think, you are right. Damien Chazelle is a huge basketball Kobe Bryant fan.
There we go. I knew it all along. I think JK's got so much more strength than Kid Rock and he probably hasn't partied as hard as he has over the past decade. So I think he's going to be able to go to the hole on him.
Okay.
But he's probably going to win the game by a score of 11-6.
Wow. Okay. I agree. Even though Kid does have the height, JK has the bulk.
Yeah, and I feel like J.K. is like probably the best athlete in this tournament.
It could be true. So here's another fact about J.K. Simmons. He played high school football.
There we go. What position, though?
Did not look that deep into.
Oh, come on. What kind of amateurish operation is this?
All right, next matchup. Keegan-Michael Key versus Hooper, the Detroit Pistons mascot.
Well, I said Keegan was going to win the whole thing, but I didn't anticipate Hooper bringing out the dang trampoline. 10-10. Hooper brings out the tramp, sets the hula hoop on fire, off the tramp, through the hoop. It's in.
You saying Hooper wins?
Hooper wins. He's going to the finals.
Wow, you really turned on Keegan quickly.
Hey, you know, he's the Lions fan, so he's happy just to win one postseason game.
Yeah. I will say this about Keegan. He portrayed Michael Jordan in an episode of Epic Rap Battles of History. But it's too late. You already picked Hooper. Let's move on to the final Elite Eight matchup. Eminem versus Dave Coulier.
You know, am I allowed to swear?
Sure.
Eminem probably thinks Dave Coulier is the most bitch-ass motherfucker who ever lived. And I think we're going to see that taken out here. So I got to give it to Eminem. 11-2.
Oh,
it's
wow.
physical. Eminem's going to play like Derrick Rose in this game. For sure.
Here's a quick fact about Eminem. When he was 18 years old, he had to make the tough decision between becoming a professional basketball player and becoming a rapper. This is a real thing. When he was 18, he made the decision to become a rapper, and his second choice was to become a professional basketball player.
Usually by the time you're 18, you're well on your way. And isn't he like 5'8", we said?
He's 5'8". Hey, I'm sure it was a very tough decision, but it probably is good he picked the route he took.
This is a good Final Four here.
This is a very good Final Four here. Could go any which way. Tom Selleck versus J.K. Simmons to decide who goes to the championship.
Well, J.K.'s had a great run. I don't think he can match Selleck's physicality and size difference.
Yeah.
So I think Tom's going to take this one probably. It'll be win by 2. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. 11-9.
Oh, wow. Okay. And now, Hooper versus Eminem to decide who else goes to the championship.
Dang. Detroit's two greatest entertainers squaring off once and for all. The only two people Joe Louis Arena would ever be interested in watching perform squaring off. I think Eminem is a great athlete. I think he's had a great run, but
yeah.
Look at it like it's entertainers, but Hooper is a professional athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. Every game day he's out there.
And I expect it's kind of like the Donovan Mitchell thing, you know? He's the son of a professional athlete, so he better knows how to prepare. He's not unfamiliar with this level of moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're going to see Hooper prevail in a tight game, 11-8.
Wow. All right. I'm not sure anyone expected this outcome.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure anyone else read a 5,000-word article about the damn Pistons mascot on Monday. So,
all right, going into the final here. We have Tom Selleck versus Hooper, the Detroit Pistons mascot.
Well, it's actually a big advantage for Hooper here. Him going against a 72-year-old man brings up some Oedipal feelings for him. So he's able to tap into that, and he wins the game.
Holy shit.
He does.
Hooper wins.
All he's wanted is to step out of his father's shadow. And by going against a 70-some-year-old man, he does just that. He wins the Detroit basketball bracket.
This is wild. I have some news that might... It's too late now to change your mind, but I have some news that might do it. Tom Selleck played basketball for USC.
I went to USC.
You went to USC?
Yeah.
Did you know Tom Selleck played basketball for USC?
Yeah, we were classmates.
He edged you out for the team?
Yeah, but I think he got where he should have gone.
He made it, yeah. So I'll let you in on the seeding here. I had Tom Selleck as the first seed. Keegan-Michael Key was my second seed. So that was what I was expecting, but I'm not upset that Hooper as the... Where is he? as the 7th seed, made it all the way and won the whole thing.
Yeah, and like just it's the frame of reference with my prognostication. My research went into like reading about his lineage and his training methods and how hard he works.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if Tom Selleck's able to fit that in with his rigorous blue blood shooting schedule. Lord knows they're all over Brooklyn every damn day.
Tom Selleck, 75 years old. Hooper's dad currently is still working. So Hooper can't be that old.
No, I think Hooper is like 28.
So that's a humongous, he's 1/3 the age of Tom Selleck, even though he's wearing that costume, which is probably 30 pounds.
Yeah, and really, the Detroit Pistons franchise needs a win right now. We're actively tanking. And if, like, we can't, it's a tournament of Michigan basketball players. Can someone related to the Pistons win? Please.
That's all I have for us today. Joel, do you have any plugs or anything that you want to shout out to our audience that does exist, I'm sure?
Yeah. If you know me, you know I do comedy, and I had a couple of fun roast battles that were just posted by the New York Comedy Club channel, and I've got one coming out next week posted by the Stan channel.
Great.
They're really fun. Check them out. And you can catch my weekly podcast, Hold My Bread. It's a comedy finance podcast. Awesome. Just like this. I try and make you a little money.
Yeah? How does that work out?
It's been working well, but we had the catastrophic week this week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can really do this week, or maybe for the next couple months.
Nah, the coronavirus thing is real, so...
Should I be buying right now?
Yes. Let it go another week, and then buy.
Okay.
And then buy, like, blue chip stuff. Like, we can talk afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, like, those Vanguard index funds.
Yeah,
like
I've been looking at those.
A VTI is what I have a lot of my holdings in. I'm into that. And can I plug one last thing?
Absolutely. Go for it.
I'll be making a short film at the NFL draft with some fun people. So,
whoa, at the draft?
Yeah, I'm going out to Vegas with, I think, some Boston radio stations. Like, they're getting a hotel room. It's the NFL Fan Therapy guys.
Cool.
So we're writing, like, a long-form thing to shoot and edit, and we're going to put it out right around the draft, and I think I'm going to be prominently featured.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be
I'm looking forward to that. That'll be NFL Fan Therapy, for those who don't know, is a really cool series that Joel's in, and a lot of other New York comedians. It's fun. It's super fun. I love watching those videos. Thank you so much for joining us, Joel. For everyone listening, check out thepropsnetwork.com for more podcasts like this. I personally produce a lot of videos for the website. There's a ton of good information on betting. We compile all the best bonuses for each online sportsbook for you. It's a great resource. Check it out, and we'll talk to you again next week. Goodbye.
Later.